Hi, this is Rambeer from the Austrian Nordic black metal band Alastor, and you're listening to The Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Hi, Rambeer. Thank you very much for taking time out for this interview. It's a great honor to have you here, and welcome to the Metal Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Alastor stands for a Nordic independent black metal since 1996, over 20 years, becoming well known in the Austrian underground with 3 demos, lot of gigs in Austria, a short break in 2004. It was the introduction of a new era in the band history, and so the successor of Silva Nordica and Nobel North followed. 2012 was split with Tundra under a Salva Satan record, and 2015-16 Waldmark was recorded, and in 2017 Independently Vykleststilka. With your permission, Rambeer, we gonna go over covering all of those years and including the band's new upcoming album, Šumava.
Yeah, Šumava.
Hailing from Rambeer in Austria, where the land borders to both Germany and Czech Republic. On the border between the two ladders lies the Bohemian forest. Alastor started back in 1996. Rambeer alias Necro Death with some friends. In 1997, you guys have chosen the name Alastor with Initor on the vocals and Bloodlust on drums. You guys recorded the band's first demo, Nordic Rides of Darkness, in 1998, independently, and in 2000, with a new vocalist, Shadow Rider, Necrodeath, and Bloss, recorded the band's second demo, Graveyard Desecration. How was the first movement of the band started? Was the lineup formed with your neighborhood friends? And how you decided on the names, Alastor for the band, and yourself, Necrodeath. And what can you tell us about the band's first demos, Morbid Rites of Darkness and Graveyard Desecrations?
It was a classic start with schoolmates and friends. They were in a different kinds of metal. Some were more into death thrash metal, and like me, some were more into black metal. With Initor and Bloodlust, we recorded this first demo, Morbid Rites of Darkness. It should be a more satanic kind of black metal. And yeah, things were going on and people progress. And so we needed a new vocalist and found the guy Shadow Rider, which had a very good voice for my feelings. And so we started recording the second demo, Graveyard Desecration. Musically, it was more influenced by death or thrash metal, but people liked it and things were going on.
With new member Asahel joined the band together with you, Necrodeath, and Shadow Rider. You guys recorded Silva Nordica in 2005, the first full-length album released as a CD via Asian production, while in 2007 you guys released via No Color Records the second full-length album, Noble North. Was the band put on hold for 5 years? How was these albums, Silva Nordica and Noble North, received? Was it necessary, 2 different record labels?
Yeah, it was necessary because Asian Productions was a very small label. They don't have much money to promote bands. So we did the first Silva Nordica with this label and decided to search for a new one for Noble North.
Okay, but how was these albums received among the fans and critics?
Yeah, Silva Nordica was musically, it was a more black metal, so the death and the thrash metal influence was deleted comparing to the demos, but the sound was not very good because of studio sound engineer who wasn't really able to make a good sound, and so we changed it for Noble North. The reactions was quite good, especially for Noble North. I can still hear good reviews of Noble North, so I think Noble North was the better album afterwards.
Between the demos and the first album, there was almost 5 years gap. What have you guys been doing?
Yeah, this was. We have some personal problems among us. A guitar player lost the band. The drummer wasn't aware if he should still play or not, and it was a difficult time for a stable lineup.
Right after the release of the 2007 album, the pseudonyms have been changed due to new attitude from the static into regional nature and tales, the Bohemian forest. So, Necrodat, you changed your name into Rambeer. In 2008, appeared the digital EP Granite Garden with the same lineup as Noble North. Rambeer, that different approach and attitude from satanic into original nature and tales, from you becoming Rambeer to Nickerdat, what type of music the band represent nowadays, and what's so different between this EP, I'm talking about the one Granite Garden, and compared to the early releases?
The big difference was a little bit later on the split album with Tundra, especially the song Ravenclaw, which is in my opinion real black metal, how it should sound in my ears. So there was a change from black metal style influenced by death metal or something into pure black metal. So that's the big difference, and the themes behind the music changed from the satanic themes into the Bohemian forest, which is the basic for the whole music and image. How is it now?
With a new lineup around here, and 3 years later, you recorded 5 songs for the split CD, as you just mentioned, The Forbidden Fruit of Purity, with Tundra, the Italian black metal band, in 2011. This was via Slava Satan Records out of Italy. The split album appeared later as MC via Schattenpfade production. The song Ravenclaw from the split album was used for a video clip on YouTube. How did you decide to do the split with Tundra? And was this some special achievement for the band that this EP appeared on Schattenpfade production?
The split came up with our singer, and he had connections to the bands. I think they were friends or are friends. Actually, he's not in the band anymore, but it was a companionship from him. And I think Tundra was the band who had the connection to Slava Satan Records. One thing come to another, and the song Ravenclaw, it's stylistic. How should Alastor should sound? It was a how should I say, find to himself.
Did you get any achievement that this EP appeared on that Schattenpfade production and your single appeared on the YouTube?
Yeah, Schattenpfade Productions asked for a limited edition of MC, and they pressed, I think it was 100 pieces. And yeah, it's a nice thing. I like MCs because it's something ancient.
Okay. In 2016, the third full-length album, Waldmark, was released as CD via the Italian Red of Tyrant Records and as LP via the hometown Austrian Winter Blast Halls. For this album, the song Ravenclaw served as template, so there were no death or thrash metal parts on this album as for example, on Noble North. Back to the glorious 90s was the goal. Please share it with us a little bit on how this album was made and the intention behind it, and how was the making of the video clip gone for the song Old Glacial Lake.
The intention of the whole album was back to the glorious 90s. In my opinion, black metal should sound like the first albums from the big Norwegian or Swedish bands. As I said before, Ravenclaw was into the right direction, so I tried musically to compose the album like that.
Okay, so you get a lot of good reaction on this album, remember?
The reaction was very, very good. I think it was the best reaction compared to all other albums. Yeah, there are always some people who say, yeah, there's nothing new and you should make something different. But I think black metal should be how was it meant to be.
Do you get a lot of support from your hometown crowd, Austria?
First of all, Austria is a very small country, and so there are not as much people who are into metal compared to Germany. So there is very, very little support. So it's really necessary to go outside the borders. So it's very good that we are talking together.
I've known these people from the Vienna metal meeting. Have you get to play there, or you visit this festival sometimes?
The metal meeting in Vienna?
Yeah.
I think we should have been playing some years ago, but there was something with our label No Colors from the past, because they have a little political problem and so they cancelled us. So we don't had a feed into this meeting.
But this festival is still going on. They just had it a couple months ago, the 2019 edition. I like to say hi to Roman. He's the guy behind the Vienna metal meeting, which is the same Eindhoven metal meeting in the Netherlands. Hello, Roman. We'll continue with the interview. April of 2017 appeared the EP Vykleststilka, named after a little mountain in a Bohemian forest, released independently. Rambeer, a 3-song EP, but killer tunes like Vykleststilka, Unholy Forces, Embraced by Bark and Ice. Tell us about the song lyrics, and have you worked with the same lineup as you did with Waldmark? I mean, Steve Trader as a drummer and Ingo von Duluth as the vocalist?
There was a break between these records. On Vykleststilka there is still Setnacht from the Black Death band Eschaton as new vocalist and a session drummer who called himself P. Personally, we were not on the right line, so it was necessary to find new members. The themes on Vykleststilka are tales from the Bohemian forest. There are stories about the Horned who is around in the forest, and the lyrics are just like ancient tales from the Bohemian forest.
But you get to walk through this forest sometimes, Rambeer?
Yeah, I visit it quite often, and it's a really huge forest. It's, I think, the biggest forest in Middle Europe. So when get into it, you always found new areas, and so you can get good impressions which reflects on the music and on composing new songs.
We crossed the border in train from Germany, where we go to Prague, to Czech Republic. I think he's talking about the same forest in that area, which is the border of Austria as well.
Must be this forest, yeah. It's really it's a huge forest.
Okay. Setnacht was recruited, as you said, as the new vocalist and session members on drums and bass, with Setnacht, Todd and Nobel and Philippe Finister. The new album Šumava was recorded between December 2018 and April 2019. It will be released in October 2019 via the Germans Schattenpfade Records.
Yeah.
Frostbitten dramatic black metal. Tell us something about the Sumava region, after which the album will also be titled. What exactly fascinates you so much about it?
First, Šumava is the name of the Bohemian forest on the Czech Republic side. So the Bohemian forest borders between Austria, Germany and Czech Republic. So Šumava is the Czech Republic part. And the fascination is there are really cold winters where the trees are full of ice and you can step outside from civilizations. It's really a journey into another world, I would say. That's the ground fascination of the whole thing, and there are many stories and tales about the big rocks inside there and the little mountains, and it's really a big fascinating area in the world. And I grew up very close to this big forest, so I always had belongings to this forest. So it was quite near to write stories and dedicate the music to this fascinating area.
Like I already mentioned, I've seen part of this forest, and when we crossed over from Germany, even when I was coming from Vienna, I drove through München. I believe we crossed over there. But I must say, to those who haven't seen it yet, it's a very, very beautiful place. You must go see it in this Bohemian forest.
Yeah, that's right. When we talk about it, it maybe sounds nice, but actually you have to see it by yourself, yeah.
The band's new album, Sumava, will be released in October 2019, as we said, via the German Schattenpfade Records. Rambeer, could you please present us the album tracking list and some description, if you don't mind?
Okay, so the album Šumava, track 1 is Plateau of the Past, the second Of Our Kind, the third Variszic Ruins, the fourth No Mark by Man Prevailed, the fifth Silva, The Wild Hunt, the sixth No Man's Land, the seventh There Is Nothing Left But to Mourn the Fallen, the eighth Askese, ninth Northern Firestorm, and the 10th Ice and Nature.
Awesome, Rambeer. Thank you very much for presenting us the album tracking list. The band is back after 3 years of deeply silence with an awesome masterpiece, Šumava. I want to thank you very much, Rambeer, for sending me this great album so I could have, just sit down and listen to all the 10 songs on this great masterpiece. I really enjoyed them all. I don't want to say which one I like the most now because the album hasn't been out yet, but tell us how long and how was the making and the lyric and music been between you and Setnacht, and also the mix and mastering at Deep Pressure Studio with Lucas Heidinger gone.
For the music, I took 1 year time. So in 1 year, I composed actually the 10 songs. Yeah, Setnacht was recruited again as the singer, who did this time a really, really great job. Respect to him. Yeah, he did the lyrics by his own. I'm not really aware of the details, but I know he's really a good man. And yeah, we decided to record it at Deep Pressure Studio, and it was a very good decision because Lucas is a very good sound engineer. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, he did really good job. I think you can hear it by the sound of the songs. Yeah, so I'm really satisfied with result, and yeah, for me it's the new masterpiece.
Yep, it is. Okay, Rambeer, Plateau of the Past, the new and promotional track of Alastor taken from the upcoming album Sumava. Will there more videos release, especially a film video?
Actually, we are planning a film video. At the moment, we are collecting ideas how we should do it and which story we should take, and actually which song. We are not aware of which song we should take. So it's all in progress, and I think we will do it in autumn, winter. So we will see.
This new video clip will be released after the album is already out.
Yeah, definitely, because the time would be too short to release it at the same time as the album release.
The band has played several gigs in Austria and its closer surroundings. The first show were with corpse paint, fire, and real blood. What are some of the best shows that the band has played over the years? And also, how would you describe your stage performance?
The stage performance is actually like a true metal show. So we don't use corpse paint anymore, but it with leather and how it should be, in my opinion. The best show, it's a hard question. I can't remember. The most shows were not very satisfying, especially in Austria. The shows, I would say, quite boring. The audience is standing here and staring at the band, and yeah.
Outside Austria?
For example, in the Czech Republic, there is more reaction on the music and on the performance. I'm not interested in playing small gigs any longer. I concentrate on composing good songs and good albums. So
okay, talking about shows, what are the plans? I mean, in support of this upcoming album, Šumava, doing live shows.
Actually, there are no shows planned, but as I know from Waldmark, there are reactions and some write and say, hey, do you want to play on my festival or whatever? So when there's a request, okay, we can think about it, but actually there are no shows planned.
Are these people, Schattenpfade Records, gonna plan the band's shows, any gigs whatsoever?
We were talking about a festival in Germany, but nothing is fixed, so maybe we play on the Hammer Festival in Germany next year.
Okay, yes, I want to thank you very much once again, Rambeer, to make this interview possible, and want to hand you over the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio for you to invite all your friends, all your fans to support the bands, to buy the band's early albums, and to rush to get their hands on this brand new upcoming album, Šumava, that will be released in October. So, I mean, I highly recommend this great album. I've heard it all. I've heard the early albums, which are great, all of them. So I highly recommend this band, Alastor. So don't hesitate, just go buy this great new masterpiece, Šumava. The microphone is all yours, Rambeer, to invite, people to support the band and to buy your merchandises. If you already have merchandises, if you have, all the releases, merchandises, to buy these and to attend, shows that you might have coming up. Okay?
Yeah, thanks you for the interview. Thanks all the fans and supporters through the years. We have still merchandise which you can order, and you can find it on the Bandcamp site. It's Alastor in the Woods, or on the Facebook site. So, and don't miss the new album Šumava. It's a small edition of the LP on about 100 pieces, so be quick.
Talking about 100 pieces, in how many format will you and the record label plan to have them available?
Yeah, the LP
in CDs? Okay, go. LP, yeah.
Yeah, the LP is first, it's a limited edition on 100 pieces, 100 pieces, and we are thinking about the CD, how much we should press. So the CD will come later. We will see when.
But you have it on digital platform yet?
Yeah, it will be. The digital version will be on Bandcamp, and yeah.
Okay, yes. Once again, thank you very much, Rambeer. All the best with this great new album, Sumava, and all the best for the band. I'm looking forward to see you guys. Yes, anytime, anywhere in Europe. But yes, in the meantime, like I always say, metal on. Bye bye.
Yeah. Stay heavy. Bye.